You lose your mother, you lose your best friend, and then you got to do it twice.
The family suing a Suffolk funeral home after they say it buried a body that was not their mother's.
Well, a family tonight is suing an Amityville funeral home for $88 million. They say it buried a body that was not their mother's, and they knew it. News 12's Eileen LaPalmer has this disturbing story.
She knew she was passing away.
87-year-old Sadie Williams of Amityville died in August. A devout Muslim and the mother of 13 children, she had arranged her own funeral so she would be buried within a 24 to 72-hour window. But her daughter Selima Lee says when she went to view the body before the funeral,
I looked over and I said, "That's not my mother." He stood there and he says, "Oh yeah, of course it is."
Lee says the man telling her she didn't recognize her own mother was Joseph Slinger, the funeral director of a Joseph A. Slinger-Haskell Funeral Services in Amityville.
He told me the embalming fluid smooths out the wrinkles, and so therefore, you know, it just makes the person look younger.
Reluctantly, she and her siblings proceeded with the funeral, and the woman in the casket was buried next to Lee's father in Pinelawn. The day after the funeral, she says Slinger called with a confession.
He says, "Well, I just want you to know that it wasn't your mother."
Lee says she went back to the funeral home to view another body, her mother's.
There she is. There she is, just laying there. Every time I'm just laying on a slab, completely naked. And she shouldn't have been there. She just shouldn't have been there. She should have been in the ground with my father.
Lee and her siblings just filed this lawsuit seeking $88 million in damages. Weeks later, the other woman's body was exhumed from Pinelawn, and they had a second funeral for their mother.
The fact that he failed to consider the possibility that he made a mistake is mind-blowing.
You lay your mother to rest, and you trying to heal. Then you find out a day later, you got to do it all over again. And there's no healing. It's like hurt after hurt. You lose your mother, you lose your best friend, and then you got to do it twice.
I don't feel like she's at rest because I still have nightmares.
Eileen LaPalmer, News 12.
Spoke to Joseph Slinger, but he says his attorney told him not to comment. His attorney did not return our phone call.